today. Welcome to iOS YouTube channel. Our work for today is based on research work. The research writer has already done his own part. The remaining part here is for data analyst. So, based on what the research writer wrote, our aim and objective. So, the topic of the research work we are doing now is the effect of parental socio-economic inequality on childhood development by public and private primary school in Edo local government. So the objective of this study is to assess the extent to which parental socio-economic status influence children's academic performance in public and private school. In public and private primary school. The second objective is analyze how parents' educational background influence the cognitive and social development of children in public and private school. The third objective is explore how parental occupation can contribute to determine children's access to educational resources and learning opportunities. The fourth one is compare the difference in learning the outcome between students in public and private primary school in terms of parental social economic inequalities. So the research writer make us know that we are dealing with 50 respondents. Then out of that 50 respondents, 25 will be from public school and 25 will be from private school. Don't forget, we are dealing with primary school, not secondary school, not the old school. We are only dealing with primary school. So for that primary school, 25 will be from public, 25 will be from private. So the respondents are also grouped into 10 parents each. That is, 10 parents will be from public, 10 parents will be from private. We also deal with school administrator. 5 will be from public, 5 will also be from private. And we're also dealing with teachers. So 10 will be from public, while the other 10 will be from private. So this is our questionnaire. This is the questionnaire the research writer designed. So the questionnaire is grouped into F section. It's grouped into 6 sections. The first section deal with the respondent profile, where we have the role, the school type, the age, the gender, the highest qualification. The section B deal with social. As I said, this is the questionnaire designed by the research writer for the research work we are doing. So this questionnaire is grouped into 6 sections. We have section A, we have section B, we have section C, we have section D, we have section E, we have section F. So the section A deals with respondents in the highest qualification. For section B, this section B is only for parents. We have monthly household income. We have the main occupation. We have the employment status, type of housing. We have, uh, in your opinion, this one has to do with. This one does not has to do with coding. This one has to do with writing. The 11 one we have. How do you think your educational and occupational background influence your child? For section C, this one also involves parents. So for the scale, we have 1 for never, 2 for rarely, 3 for sometimes, 4 for often. 5 for always, based on the question given to us. The section D deals with teacher and administrator of the school. So we have one for strongly agree, one for strongly disagree, two for disagree, three for neutral or undecided, four for agree, then five for strongly agree based on the question given to us. Section E deal with academic performance. Academic performance. This also has to do with teacher and admin. So based on the question given to us, then section F, which is the last section, the child cognitive and social skills. This one has to do with teacher and parent. So these are data we are dealing with. These are the data for parents, and these are the data for teacher. Welcome back. Anyway, so these are the data for the parents and guardian, and these are the data for the teachers. That is the respondents. That's the teacher and school administrator. So we have. I'm coming now. I want to flip. So the next step here is data cleaning, and this data cleaning, ah, okay. Our next step here is data cleaning. Based on the researcher, based on researcher, the research writer, he has already indicates what each number means. I'm talking about section C now. That has to do with parents. So this is the questionnaire for parents. This is the questionnaire for parents. This is the responses for parents, and this is questionnaire we are dealing with. So we have to do the data cleaning because all this number we are seeing here has its own meaning in the questionnaire. The question said, the question said, coming now. I'm trying to expand the column so I can see the question. So the question said, I assisted my child with homework, and the respondent picked two, but that two has its own meaning based on the questionnaire. So based on the research writer, he said the one represents never, the two represents rarely, the three represents sometimes, four represents often, and five represents always. So for question 12 to 17 now, that means we have to do the data cleaning by representing that one with never. Wherever we see one, we represent it with never. Wherever we see two, we represent it with rarely. Wherever we see three, we represent it with sometimes. And four often, then five always, for the work to be easier. So we can just select the six column. That is the first one, I assisted my child with homework. The second one, I attend PTA meeting regularly. The third one, I communicate with my child teachers. The fourth one, my child has access to textbook. The reason why I'm highlighting all these questions is that they ask same meaning, same content. That is, they are from the same statement. Their option is also the same. That is one. If I pick one in question 13 or question 14, it still means never. So that's why I'm highlighting it so I can just change everything using find and replace. So I will continue. So the I stop at my child studies daily at home. So the next last one is I encourage. So this all the questions. So for it to be easy, you can just use Control Shift to highlight the column, all the respondents column. Then we move to find and replace, which is Control H. What are we replacing? So in that column, we are replacing what? We are replacing one with what? Rarely and never. That means whenever we see one, it will replace it with never. That means in the O section, we have only one never. So two is what? The two is rarely. So we replace two with what? Rarely. So we made 11. So the third one is what? The third one, the three is sometimes. To represent the three with sometimes, then we replace all. The next one is to replace the four with what? With oven. Oven. Then five with always. So we are done with current aspect. That's to do with never, really, another one. So the next one, we also have, for this one, we have my child reads and writes. So we also have number here instead of word. Since the writer has already let us know that each number has its own meaning. So my child, that is in section 4. Section F, sorry, that is in section F. So here we have we have four questions. So we can highlight the four columns. So then highlight it. How I do this, I use Control Shift down arrow to make the thing easier. So what am I changing? My one represents what? Sorry for the short break. So I just have to communicate with the research writer just to understand some aspect of it. In this section F, the research writer only wrote one for very low, two for very high. So what I think we can do is that with that 234 has to be in between very low and very high. That means you can group our one very low, then two to low, three to moderate, then four high, then 5 will be very high. So that's what we are going to do now. We represent one with very low, so we represent one with very low. So it said you could not find anything to replace. That means there is nothing like 1 there. So move to the next one, which is 2. We represent the 2 with low. Then replace. It made 1 replacement. Then 3 we got moderate. Then replace. We move to the next one, which is 4. So 4 will be what? High. And then 5. 5 will be what? Very high. Very high. So we are done. So we are done. So we still have to check whether there is blank space, blank space in this column. So we can just select all. I'm coming. Select all the response. So we use a function called is blank. So which is equals to check whether a reference is to an empty set, return true or false. So we are using a function called is blank just to check whether there is a blank space in this data. So, so this makes us know that there is no blank space. So that means we are done with teacher work. We are done with teacher's work. So we can save the editing. So you can save it with another file. So you can use another link to save it. So you can just use data cleaning for parents. Then after that, you move to then after that we move to teacher. So um so we are going to data cleaning for teacher response. So these are data. We have to check our data whether our data is right. So for this one now, there is no how we can analyze this without cleaning this data. Normally we suppose have English at the top, then we have the score for each student. We have mathematics, we have social studies. But now in one column, they wrote everything there. That means you have to split one for English, one for mathematics, one for um social study. We have to split this into three more columns just for it to be easy for us to analyze. Then we have to have another column for English, another column for mathematics, then another column for social study. So we still check which one are we still doing. So we have to edit all this, that is using find and replace, based on just like the one we did in parent response, just like the one we did in parent response. So we can start from that of subject. So we can start from this. So we can highlight, we highlight everything since we are grouping it. Then come to the data. Okay, let me expand this for you to. So once you highlight that column, we use what we call text column. It says split a single column of text into multiple columns. For example, you can separate a column of full name into separate first and last name column. You can choose how to split it up, fix with wide, split at each comma, period, or other character. So we use text column just to split the text, maybe two texts that are together. Just like what they said, assuming I have my name, my first name, my middle name, and my last name, and I want to split and I write it together in one column. So I want to split it into different columns. Then I have to use what we call text column. So now I click on text column. We have fixed wide. We are not using this, we are using delimited. It said characters such as comma, space. So for this column now, we are dealing with three different subjects. We have English, we have mathematics, we have social study. And their score are written in front of them. So what we have to do is to split this into different columns. So before we can split, that means we have to highlight this column. We highlight it since everything is in one column. After highlighting it, we come to data. Then after data, we come to text column. So this text column, we are not dealing with fixed. If we are dealing with fixed, that means all this will be in one column. All this will still be in one column. So we want to split everything. Mathematics will stand on its own. The score will stand on its own. English will stand on its own. The score will stand on its own. Social study will stand on its own. Then the score of social study will stand on its own. So we have to use delimited. If you check the meaning of that delimited, they said characters such as commas, tab, tabs separate each field. So we are using this. Then we move towards next. He said, are we using in that delimited? They said, are we using tab, semicolon, comma, space, or order? That means if there is no delimited here, you can pick order, then type it there. But now, for you to know the one you are dealing with, is to check the column of that data. If you check the column of that data, you notice that the difference, the difference in that column is that each text or each character is separated by space. I don't know whether you're getting it. After they wrote English, they put single line space. They put a space there before they write um the score. After the score, they put a space before they write the mathematics. I don't know whether you're getting it. So for this delimiters, we are going to pick space. So If you check the data preview, you see that everything has already been grouped. You see that everything has already been grouped. Once everything has already been grouped, that means we don't have any issue. Assuming that this one is separated by comma, that means I have the comma. But because this column is not separated by comma, that's why the data preview is still the same thing. So we are dealing with space. So if you see data preview now, everything is already in group. Everything is already been grouped. But the issue we are having here now is that it also affects the word social study because it has space. But we can neglect that because I want to remove it when we are doing the analysis. What we actually need now is only the score of each subject. So we wrote each subject at the top, then we write the score under it. So we don't have issue with that one. So we move to next. So where do we want the destination to start from? Should we use that G17 also? Or we should start at where I'm coming. So this destination means where we want the data to start. I do your quarter. Please let me. So from here we continue. Oh, sorry, I forgot to select other column. That means we have to start from the beginning again. I'm very sorry for that one. So I'm supposed to select from row 2. So I started from row 17. So then come to text column, then delimited. So we are set, then move to next. We are separating by comma, then next. That means this destination that is showing means that my column and my row will start from G column, then row 2. I don't know where you're getting it. So after that one, I click on finish. So it said there is already data here. Do you want to replace it? So I said okay. So welcome back. Um, we are dealing with questionnaire for teacher and school administrator. So we want to do data cleaning, and these are the respondent response. So you have to check as a data analyst. You have to check your data. Is it in order? Is it well arranged before you can start your analysis? So for now, in this teacher, the column B is well arranged, the column C is well arranged, but we have issue with column G, and also we also have issue with column L because it has to do with number. And according to the researcher, according to the research writer, it make us know that I'm trying to look for the question. My pupil student read. My pupil student read. Okay, this is the this is the section for that for those one that ask number. So we have 5 year, we have 5 year, we have so this one deals with number, but we don't need the number here because we're not dealing with number. This is questionnaire. This is questionnaire, and we must try and understand what each number stand for. We must try and understand what each number. Once they assign number to each question, we must try to understand what that number stands for. So from the questionnaire, they make us know that it starts from very low to very high. So we have one very low, we have five very high. That means in between the two, we have what we call low, moderate, and what high to cover the two, three, four. So before we move to that one, that means let's first edit, let's first clean the column G. This column G here, we have what we call most recent average class score. Most recent average class score. But in this, they combine both the subject and the score together. That means for that three subjects and their score, we have it in one column, which supposed not to be. That means we have to split each score from each subject. And when we are doing that, we have to use a function called text to column. So to use text to column, we first need to know the number of characters we are dealing with. Because if you are dealing text to column now, let me try to explain. As this data is, let me try to use under folder to explain that one. This is the score and the subject. So if you are using text to column for this, we come to data, we come to text to column. So we are using delimited. And on that delimited, it said characters such as comma or tab separate each field. So that means, so we are moving to next. So what are we using to separate it? Is it tab? Is it semicolon? Is it comma? Is it space or order? If there is any other thing, we can use order. But we are using space here, so we pick space to move to next. Then we are starting from A1, so click on finish. If you notice here now that the text, the character has already been split into seven different columns. So that means if the character is splitting to seven different columns and we are still going to split this column, that means it will affect all these responses in each column here. So for that not to happen, that means we have to insert another six column to make everything okay. I don't know whether you're getting it. So we see six column. So instead of doing it one by one, you can just select six column here, two, three, four, five, six. Then insert. Use insert. So so we have already create another six column. So we can now use what we call text column now, since it won't affect the other responses. So we can use text column now. Then select our data and use Control Shift down arrow. So we come to data here, then text column, use delimited, next. We are separating with space. So we click on next. So our destination will start from G2. So we can finish. There is data already here. Do you want to replace it? We said okay. So it has already split the subject from the score. That means the column we have 71, 68. That one is for English language. I don't know where you're getting it. So instead of having this now, so we can delete this column, the most recent average class score, or we merge the column together, then create another row for where we are going to write our English, our social study. But for an easy way, you can just delete this. So we have already know that the three column for that subject is for most recent average class score. So we don't need this again. Once we have already know what we are doing, to delete this column, that has to do with English. So in this column one, you can change it back to English, English score, English score. So we don't need the name for this, which is column 2. You can delete it also. So the column 3 is for mathematics score. Then the fourth column, we don't need the social study, we don't need the social, we don't need the studies. So we can delete the two column. So the score here is for social study. So once we are done with that one, that means for this three column, English score, mathematics score, social and social studies score, they are for the average student score based on the research writer, based on what the research writer wrote in his questionnaire. So after that one, move to another one. Check. So as I said, this number has its own meaning. So we have to represent each number by their meaning instead of using number. In case um, some people want to see it, they may just ask you that what is 4 stand for, because they won't understand, because they just think that my people students and write read and write at expected level for their age. So that means 4 for the response. So that is not it. So we have to change the number back to the text. So we have to go to the questionnaire again. So the questionnaire, so this is the questionnaire, section F, my puppy or my child. So this, since this one is for teacher, that means they're going to use pupil for students. I don't know if you're getting it. So we select each column. We select the 4 columns and all the data there. What do? We represent, so we use find and replace. We are representing one with what? Very low. One with very low. Then replace all. 2 with low. 3 with, so the third, the 3 represents moderate. Then the 4 represents high. The fifth one now represents very high. So we are done with data cleaning for um, so we have done data cleaning for the teacher also. So the next step here now, let me save it first. So the next step now is that since we are not using Excel to do our analysis, we are using SPSS. So that means we have to import this data to the SPSS, code it for easier analysis. So we are starting another, and we are starting the analysis in another video. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, iOS